Yeah, well, was it taken out of Genesis? Now this, I don't know if it was removed, but I can tell you that if you read the commentators on this issue, they all go, just ignore that, right? This is what you see. If you read the commentators on this passage in Luke 3, okay, this is Luke 3, 34 through 36. The commentators will tell you, just ignore that, all right? So what you see in Luke 3, 34 through 36, it reads like this. Which was the son of Yaakov, which was the son of Yitzchak, which was the son of Abraham. Now, we all recognize those names, right? Jacob, Isaac, Abraham. Which was the son of Terah, which was the son of Nahor, which was the son of Serug, which was the son of Reu, which was the son of Peleg, which was the son of Eber, which was the son of Shilach, which was the son of Keinan, and which was the son of Arpachshad, and the son of Shem. Now, if you read in every other place, like when you read in Genesis, you will get this listing that says, and Arpachshad begat Shilach, and Shilach begat Eber. That's what it tells you. So where's Keinan? Well, it doesn't appear in Genesis 10, 21 through 24. All right, well, how about in Jasher? Let's take a look at Jasher, which is based on the Samaritan Pentateuch. And these are the sons of Shem. Elam, Asher, Arpachshad, Ludi, and Aram, 5 sons. And the sons of Elam were Shushan, Makul, Harmon. And the sons of Asher were Mirs and Moklah. And the sons of Arpachshad were Shilach, Anar, and Ashkol. You see, so again, Jasher assigns Arpachshad and his son, Shilach. So, what are we doing here? All right, so then even when we get to Genesis, Bereshith, in chapter 11, verse 12, and Arpachshad lived 5 and 30 years and begat at Shilach. Hey, who's this Keinan that Luke's talking about? Luke must have just invented this name out of thin air. It just must have just, somebody said, let's drop this guy's name in here. Is that what happened? No, because again, the New Testament writers had more information than what's been screened by the Masoretes, or what's been screened in the later editions. They had much more information. And this is why the Ascent of James, by the way, is a very interesting book, because it contains more information than what you initially thought. Okay, well, how about the book of Chronicles written by Ezra? First Chronicles, Divrei Hayamin Rishon, in chapter 1, verses 18 through 19. And Arpachshad begat at Shilach, and Shilach begat at Eber. Okay, and of course, Eber, I disagree with that name. It should be Hebrew, or Ebru, for where you get Hebrew. And that's the way it's spelled, but, everybody wants to say Eber. Okay, how about the Septuagint? Maybe they tell us. Maybe they give us the name Keinan. Okay, Chronicles. And this is from, let's see, what do they call it? The Paralemenon. And this is, again, 118 to 27. The sons of Sem, Elam, and Asur, and Arpachshad, Selah, and Eber, Peleg, Regan, Serug, Nahor, Terah, and Abraham. No mention of Keinan in any of these sources. No mention of Keinan in Genesis, in the Septuagint, in Jasher, or in First Chronicles. However, when we look to the Sefer Yovelim, we finally find a source for this discussion in the Gospel of Luke, which none of the English commentators have ever found. Most English commentators tell you, ignore that name Keinan, pretend it doesn't exist, don't write on it, don't research it, nothing else, just leave it alone. But here in Jubilees, Yovelim, in chapter 8, verses 1 through 4, it reads like this. In the 29th Jubilee, in the first week in the beginning thereof, Arpachshad took to himself a woman, and her name was Rasueah, the daughter of Shushan, the daughter of Elam. And she bore him a son in the 3rd year in this week, and she called his name Keinan. And the son grew, and his father taught him writing, and he went to seek for himself a place where he might seize for himself a city. And he found a writing which former generations had carved on a rock, and he read what was thereon, and he transcribed it, and sinned owing to it. For it contained the teaching of the watchers, in accordance with which they used to observe the omens of the sun and the moon and the stars in all the signs of heaven. Interesting. And he wrote it down and said nothing regarding it, for he was afraid to speak to Noach about it, lest he should be angry with him on account of it. So, Yovelim supports the claim that Arpachshad had a son named Keinan. And it is this record that claims that Keynan was the father of Shilach. Let's see. Yovelim, Jubilees, chapter 8, verse 5, which you can find in the Yad Sefer. And in the 30th Jubilee, in the second week, in the first year thereof, he, Keynan, took to himself a woman, and her name was Melka, the daughter of Madai, the son of Japhet. And in the 4th year, he begat a son and called his name Shilach, for he said, truly, I have been sent. So let's go back and take a look at Lucas again. And in Lucas 3, verse 35, which was the son of Serug, which was the son of Reu, which was the son of Peleg, which was the son of Eber, which was the son of Shilach, which was the son of Keynan, which was the son of Arpachshad. So the question I have to ask you is, did the writer in Luke rely on the book of Yovelim to reach his conclusion in the genealogy? And the answer is, yes, he did. And you have to remember that Jubilees was locked up in the Ethiopian tradition until the early 1800s when it was deciphered by, D.H. Lawrence. So, I can see how people would miss it. But the early authors of the gospel, and again, it lends credence to the gospel writers too, because over all of those centuries, that name didn't appear in the Codex Vaticanus or the Vulgate. It didn't appear in the Stephanus Textus Receptus anywhere. So what was it doing there in Lucas? How did he find it? What source did Lucas rely upon? And what you discover is that if he relied upon Yovelim, and remember, 6 copies of Jubilees of Yovelim were found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. 6 copies. So we know the Essenes considered it to be scripture, and we can tell now that so did the disciples because they were reading that book, because that is the only place that they got that genealogy.